You're listening to the Jonker Talk podcast. This podcast is brought to you by MC242 IPR MSA UITM Malacca chapter as an assignment for PRO549. Remember, Jonker Walk is a place, Jonker Talk is us.
Welcome back to Epidemic Explorer, where we dive deep into understanding various epidemics worldwide. I'm your beloved host Nurul Atika, and today we're going to unpack yet another epidemic first introduced back in 1988, and it is HIV/AIDS. HIV here, HIV there. But do you all really know what HIV/AIDS is all about? And why are these diseases known as the silent killer? Alright, let me provide you with a little insight into this disease. According to World Health Organization, HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. It attacks the human system, the body's defense against infections and disease. Now, imagine your immune system as a fortress guarding your body against invaders. HIV infiltrates this fortress, weakening it over time. But here's the kickers. HIV doesn't show immediate symptoms. That's why it's often referred to as a silent killer. People may not even realize they are infected for years. And during this time, HIV can quietly wreak havoc on the immune system, leaving the body vulnerable to opportunistic infections. And it stands for Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome, and it's the final stage of HIV infection. A lot of people get confused between HIV and AIDS. Are they the same thing? So take home message, they are two different things. As a matter of fact, you can have HIV and not have AIDS, and people can have immunodeficiency syndrome without having HIV. What happens in HIV is it attacks white blood cells. So if left untreated, those white blood cell level can drop so far in your blood that people can become really prone to infection. For this reason, AIDS is potentially life-threatening. Now let's talk numbers. Globally, the World Health Organization reports that approximately 38 million people were living with HIV/AIDS by the end of 2019. Wow, that's a huge number of people. Now that's a staggering figure, and sadly, despite advancement in treatment and preventions, around 690,000 people still lost their life to AIDS-related illness the same year. The statistic underscore the ongoing global challenge posed by HIV/AIDS. So, what are the reasons behind the 38 million people living with HIV in Malaysia? Okay, let me explain. HIV can only be transmitted in three ways: sharing needles and injection equipment with infected individuals, having sexual intercourse with someone who has HIV, and finally, an infected mother can pass HIV to her baby, yes, to her baby during pregnancy, childbirth, or breastfeeding. Alright. I know understanding this can be a bit tricky, isn't it? So let me explain a bit further for you. This virus is present in the blood of infected individuals. So when they use needles and injection equipment to inject drugs, tiny drops of blood, including this virus, are left behind in the needle. Now, if you share that needle and injection equipment to inject yourself, you are essentially injecting this virus directly into your bloodstream. And for your knowledge, HIV or the AIDS virus is highly present in semen. It also found in the vaginal secretions of infected women. So, it can be concluded that HIV and AIDS infection occur due to sexual intercourse. During sex, the virus in semen, blood, or vaginal secretion of someone infected with HIV can be transmitted to their partner, whether male or female. This virus can enter the bloodstream of someone who is not infected in three ways. Some ways the virus can enter the bloodstream include through the lower part of the large intestine or rectum, through the tip of the penis during sex, and through the walls of the urinary tract. It can also enter through cuts in the skin, scab, or bleeding gums. And there you have it, how this virus can affect someone. Quite intriguing, isn't it? However, you might be surprised to hear the last cause of HIV/AIDS is that a mother who is infected can pass HIV to her baby during pregnancy, childbirth, or while breastfeeding. Yes, you heard that right. A baby can be infected with HIV/AIDS. Okay. Let's calm down. Okay, let's calm down. In 2019 alone, approximately 880 children were infected with HIV every day, and about 310 children died from AIDS-related illnesses. Now let's delve into a crucial aspect of understanding HIV/AIDS: debunking myths and misconceptions. There are many misconceptions surrounding HIV/AIDS, and addressing them is essential for promoting accurate knowledge and reducing stigma. Firstly, let's tackle some of the most common myths about HIV/AIDS. Myth number one: HIV can be transmitted through casual contact like hugging or sharing food. Well, this is simply not true. HIV is not spread through everyday contact. It can only be transmitted through specific bodily fluids such as blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. Another myth is that you can tell if someone has HIV/AIDS just by looking at them. In reality, HIV/AIDS does not have a look. People living with HIV can appear healthy and vibrant just like anyone else. Now let's provide some factual information to debunk these myths. The truth is, HIV is most commonly transmitted through the causes that were shared in part 2 a moment ago, which are unprotected sexual intercourse, sharing needles or syringes, and from mother to child during childbirth or breastfeeding. Although misconceptions about HIV/AIDS have been somewhat rectified through accurate facts, however, it remains one of the causes of increasing stigma and discrimination for those living with HIV/AIDS. Those living with HIV/AIDS often face stigma. According to former Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, she emphasized in an interview with Sinar Harian newspaper that stigma is a result of Malaysians lacking information about HIV/AIDS. Furthermore, stigma can have profound consequences on the mental and emotional well-being of those affected. It can lead to a feeling of shame, isolation, and low self-esteem, hindering individuals from seeking necessary medical care and support. This not only exacerbates the health outcome for those living with HIV/AIDS, but also contributes to the spread of the virus as people may avoid testing and treatment due to fear of judgment or discrimination. So, addressing stigma and discrimination is not just a matter of human rights, it's a public health imperative. It requires a comprehensive effort to educate the public, raise awareness, and promote empathy and understanding. By dispelling myths and spreading accurate information about HIV/AIDS, we can dismantle stigma and create a more inclusive and supportive society for all individuals, regardless of their HIV status. It's about recognizing the humanity and dignity of every person and ensuring that they are treated with respect and compassion. And there you have it, folks. As we conclude today's episode on HIV/AIDS, it's clear that stigma and discrimination continue to pose significant challenges for individuals living with the virus. Despite advancement in medical knowledge and treatment, misconception and fear persist, fueling discrimination and denying individuals their basic right and dignity. It's essential to heed the words of former Health Minister Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, who emphasized the critical role of accurate information in combating stigma. When people lack understanding about HIV/AIDS, they may resort to fear-based reaction and discriminatory behavior, perpetuating myths and misconceptions that harm those affected. Stigma and discrimination not only impact the mental and emotional well-being of individuals living with HIV/AIDS, but also hinder efforts to control the epidemic. By addressing stigma and discrimination, we're not just promoting human rights, we are advancing public health. It requires concerted efforts to educate the public, raise awareness, and foster empathy and understanding. So, I encourage each and every one of you to continue learning about HIV/AIDS, to challenge misconception, and to take action to support those affected by the disease. Together, let's strive for a world where everyone, regardless of their HIV status, is treated with dignity, respect, and compassion. Thank you for joining me on this journey of exploration and understanding. Until next time, let's keep raising awareness, fostering empathy, and building a world free from stigma and discrimination. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and stay empowered.